Welcome to this month's market update. We are going to be going over the September 2023 numbers today, and it may shock a lot of people what I'm about to discuss. Let's just say when I am in the market with my clients right now, if you're on the buying side, you have a lot of opportunity, you have the advantage without a doubt. If you are on the selling side, there's a lot of questions that you're going to be left shaking your head, scratching your head, and asking yourself what is happening. There are not a lot of showings being booked on a lot of properties right now. We've got two listings ourselves that are getting very slow traffic going through, if any. And a lot of buyers, I think, are just sitting on the sidelines with all of these rate increases. We've seen a lot of people bring properties to the market from the first week of September when the kids went back to school. And this generally does happen, but we haven't seen the buyers come out to play. This is leaving us with a huge issue, and we'll discuss it right now. If you find any value from my videos, don't forget, like, subscribe to the channel, and we do monthly market updates as well as plenty of other videos to keep you entertained. So I've got the market update right here. I'll give you the broad strokes at first. So your average price for a home across the board is $1,119,000, slightly up from the previous year's month at September 2022, which was $1,086,000. So from that aspect, we're looking at an up, but it's really not the case. The biggest number that I really want to discuss is the activity that's happening in the market. So if we just look at the amount of sales that happened September 2022, we had 5,000 sales. September 2023, we had 4,500 sales. Now, right off the bat, you're going to think, okay, it's not a big deal. 500 units difference between the two. We know it's a slower market. Let me discuss right here the amount of inventory that came on the market in the last month. So when we had 5,000 sales in September 2022, we had 11,200 units on the market. Today, when we see 4,600 sales, we think it's not that bad. We had 16,258 new listings hit the market in the last month, and only 4,600 of them sold. This is a huge issue. We've seen a 44% increase in the actual amount of inventory that's come to the market, and we've seen a decrease on the amount of units that have sold year over year. This is kind of setting us up for some issues going forward. As we get closer and closer to the winter, we generally do see the market slow down. It actually has already been slow since June, and it's getting slower and slower and slower, and it will continue to do that until we hit the new year. Barring anything crazy happening like a decrease in rates from the Bank of Canada, we've got a big issue here. We've got so much inventory, we don't have a lot of people out there purchasing, and my guess is people are trying to play the market and see if they can catch that bottom downswing. So there's a lot of buyers, either they can't afford to buy anything any longer, so they're stuck watching and waiting. And then there's others who have the opportunity, ready to pull that trigger. They're just waiting to see how low some of these prices get. I saw an article the other day, and we are seeing 300,000 decrease year over year in a detached home in Mississauga, Brampton, Toronto. We're seeing some really big numbers happening on the downswing. So if you are looking to buy a house, it might be a really good time to at least get your pre-approval done, see what you qualify for, and you might be surprised with what you can actually afford. With all that being said, let's get into the numbers to really see what those average prices are. We hit this note in every single video. I'll have the graphics up. I'll read through what those average prices are for a detached condo, townhouse, so stick with me here. So first, I'm going to hit you with the Halton region. So we've got Burlington. These are detached homes that we're going to go over first. The average is 1.346. In Halton Hills, comprised of Acton, Georgetown, and some of the country properties there, 1.201 for a detached home. Milton, 1.284. Oakville, 1.989. So Oakville has slipped below that $2 million price point for a detached home. That's fantastic, but it's still almost $2 million, which a lot of people don't have the equity in their current home or the affordability to purchase something in Oakville at the moment. Peel, you got 1.211 for your average detached in Brampton. Mississauga, 1.439. And then Caledon, always a lower amount of units and transactions. They only had 37 transactions compared to the 200 from Brampton and 150 from Mississauga, but they were at 1,461,000. And Toronto as a whole, the average detached is still quite high, 1.724 million. Semi-detached, we're going to hit Burlington at 929,000, Halton Hills 816,000. They do have a lot of older semi-detached properties in Halton Hills, so you're going to see a fairly affordable number, which is nice to see. On the Milton side of things, just over $1 million at $1,053,000, and semis in Oakville 1.129, and the Brampton area 932,000 is your average semi. Caledon 947, Mississauga 1,084,000 for your average semi-detached, and to round it out, Toronto 1,281,000 is the average semi across all of Toronto. Your average townhouses, we're going to cover non-condo townhouses first. So Burlington 958,000, 953,000 Halton Hills, Milton 922, and you're going to have Oakville at 1.203 for your average town, Brampton 871, Caledon 965,000, only on 2 transactions albeit, and Mississauga 1,028,000 for your average townhouse. Toronto rounds it out 1.227, so just over 1.2 for your average townhouse without any fees in Toronto. Your condo townhouse, as you'll see on the graphic here, we're going to get a little bit more affordable finally. So Burlington 802, Halton Hills 648, Milton 782. You're going to have Oakville rounding it out at 986,000. So Oakville condo townhouse gets you under that $1 million price point finally. Brampton 693,000, and Mississauga under that 800, so 796,000 for your average condo townhouse. You have to keep in mind with a condo townhouse, you are going to have accessory fees here. So you might have a fee that covers some landscaping, some exteriors. I'd kind of budget yourself for $200 to $400 a month, depending on what the condo actually covers. Now, let's take a peek at the condos and see what they offer across the board. So Burlington 656, Halton Hills 625,000 for a condo, Milton 595, just under 600,000, which is beautiful, and Oakville you're 750,000 for your average condo. Peel Region, so Brampton 541, 640 in Caledon. There's only 1 transaction there, so very small sample size. And Mississauga, there's a lot of condos, but your average is 652,000 in Mississauga. And Toronto 732 is the average price of a condo. One thing that I really wanted to cover that I've got right here is your average monthly rent for 1 bedrooms has surpassed $2,500 per month. What this really means for a lot of people is there's no good route to take here. Obviously, most people would prefer to buy a home and own a home. It's not in the cards for everybody. Affordability has become extremely difficult across the board. You may not be able to even qualify for something that you're interested in. And even if you can qualify, if it's your first house, you're really pigeonholed into a condo as your first purchase. And if you can't qualify, you might need a place to live. So you find yourself looking on that rental side of things. Let's say this is you and you need to go the rental avenue. $2,500 for a 1 bedroom on average is really a difficult position for you to be in, because that doesn't include your utilities. Sometimes it doesn't include parking, and it does not give you enough breathing room to, on top of $2,500, continue to save up for a down payment for a property in the future. So once you start renting, as these prices have gotten where they are, it's put us in a position where renters are going to be in a really deep hole trying to get out of it if they want to purchase something, or they might just be stuck renting for the long haul until we see some really significant price changes across the board. Rent needs to come down. Obviously, the housing prices need to come down as well. There's not going to be a happy scenario no matter how things work out. You're going to have people that are excited if the market does continue to drop and plummet, But you're going to see people who already own properties who are very upset if that continues to happen. You have to remember, if you're in the game and if you own a property, it may drop in value. However, if you wanted to buy a detached home and you currently own a townhouse, you are going to be able to get into that townhouse, or from that townhouse, to the detached almost more easily, because the detached will drop the same percent, but at a higher price point, it's going to be more affordable for you. So you have to remember, it's not a doom and gloom if you own a property and it starts to drop in value. What we are really concerned about going forward is mortgage interest rates, because a lot of people in the next year to 24 months are going to be coming up on their renewals. They may currently be locked in at 2% to 3% on a fixed rate, and when they have to renew, they're going to be almost doubling their mortgage payment compared to what they're paying today. So we're going to have a lot of people who are going to be in a very, very scary situation, who maybe are having a hard time paying their mortgage now, and they're going to be pushed over the edge. Let's wait and see what the next couple of years bring, or the next 12 months. We're starting to see it now, where people can't afford their current mortgage, so they're having to sell their property. Unfortunately, that happens if markets move the way they've done. So stay tuned. We'll cover more of these topics as we go in the future. Thank you so much for watching this market update for September 2023. I'll see you in the next video, and please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. You'll get new videos at least twice a month. Thank you so much. Bye for now.